Delphinium is a genus of about 300 species of annual and perennial flowering plants belonging to the Ranunculaceae family. Commonly called larkspur, they are native on tropical Africa's high mountains and throughout the northern hemisphere. The name Delphinium comes from the ancient Greek word delphinion, which means dolphin. Reason being the unopened buds resembled a dolphin's nose. Hardy in zones 3 to 7, delphiniums bloom from late spring to late summer. They will produce a second flower display if the stalks are cut off after the initial flowers faded. The showy spikes of flowers come in a range of blues from the palest of blue to the deepest indigo. They also come in shades of pink, purple, red, violet, and white as well. The flowers attract pollinators such as bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. The long vase life of the flower spikes make delphiniums popular in cut flower gardens. Delphiniums grow in a variety of heights, from dwarf 1-foot hybrids to a towering 2 meters tall, making them suitable plants for the front, center, and back of a perennial border. The tall varieties will require staking to protect them from wind damage. Sow delphinium seeds indoors about 10 or so weeks ahead of the last spring frost. Fill the seed tray with fresh seed starting potting mix. Make a shallow divot on the soil before placing the seed. Cover the seeds lightly with soil and lightly spray with water to moisten the top layer. Do not overwater as the seeds are prone to rot if they get too wet. Place the seed tray on a window that gets at least 6 to 8 hours of daily sunshine. If the location is not getting enough sunshine, put them under a grow light for at least 8 to 10 hours a day. Keeping the soil warm will help the seeds germinate within 3 weeks. A seedling heat mat can help regulate the soil temperature and keep it warm between 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Delphinium seedlings can be transplanted in the garden after the last spring frost. Choose a spot that gets full sun in the morning with partial shade from the hot afternoon sun. Strong winds can knock down the tall varieties of delphiniums, so make sure to plant them in a location that gets protection from the winds, such as by the fence or wall. Plant them in well-draining soil that is amended with loads of organic matter such as peat and cocoa coir. Top dress the surface of the soil with compost. Water delphiniums thoroughly to keep the soil evenly moist but not wet. Make sure the soil is not waterlogged to prevent root rot. Stake the plants when they're young to help them grow straight and tall. Delphiniums are heavy feeders. Feeding the plants with high potassium fertilizer will help them produce the spectacular flower spikes. The first application of fertilizer is needed during the planting time, and a second application during mid-season will help support a second flower display. During the blooming season, deadhead the plants regularly to promote healthier growth. When the initial bloom period ends, cut back delphiniums to the ground. They will often flush back and produce a second late summer bloom. Most delphiniums are short-lived perennials, lasting just 2 to 5 years. But they are easily propagated by dividing the clumps, which is best done in spring when new growth appears. The flowers aren't likely to bloom the first summer after you plant them. Most delphiniums will self-seed, but they usually won't grow true to type. Use sterile garden knife or hand pruner when dividing the clumps or pruning the flower stalks to prevent any disease from spreading to the plants. Delphiniums are highly poisonous when ingested. They can cause nausea, paralysis, and even death, so keep children and pets away from the plants. Consider growing delphiniums in your landscape to add a wonderful range of blues in your garden's color palette. Thank you for watching.